Hello, aspirers of Descendants. The game hasn't been out that long, but I thought I'd give everyone a first impressions for anyone that was curious about the game or curious as to what the game would have in store for them later. So before I go into the video, I do want to just iterate a public service announcements. There's been a problem with caliper, which is the in-game money. People are buying the caliper and not realizing how to acquire the caliper, and they think the game is glitched or they're not getting their money. Whenever you buy caliper, it will show up in your inbox. So go to your inbox, and the most recent purchased product will be inside of that inbox. Not your mailbox from Albion. So you haven't been gypped. The game hasn't stolen your caliper. It's inside of your inbox. That being said, let's move on. I'll start with the controversial topic, fan service. So although fan service is looked down upon a lot, it really is popular in MMOs, and very few MMOs don't have fan service. So whether you're into fan service or not, most games are going to have it. I wouldn't exclude a game because of fan service. About as high as the normal MMOs, because few MMOs don't have fan service, especially Korean ones. As far as gunplay goes, it's pretty par as far as a third-person shooter goes. I like the controls, I like the movement, everything's mostly smooth. Of course, you're going to have lag spikes and things like that, no matter how many tests a game does. As far as aesthetics and the way the game was portrayed before release, I don't think they bamboozled anyone. This game is very pretty. The gameplay is aesthetically pleasing. A lot of people complain that it's generic, but really, I mean, what would make a third-person elemental shooter unique? As much as people don't like to compare this to Warframe, it's pretty similar to Warframe, which brings me to the next monetization. So the first Descendant is a free-to-play game. You can acquire everything in the game without spending any money, albeit with a lot of work. So the first battle pass is free. You only get the even numbers. Here you get number 2, number 4, number 6, all for free. And you unlock the battle pass as you play the game. You can buy the premium battle pass, which gives you access to every level of the battle pass for 500 caliper. This is $10 for the battle pass. The battle pass, as of now, is once every 60 days. So you can expect, if you want the battle pass for every season, to spend $10 every 2 months, which is around $5 a month, which as far as live service games go, this is very cheap. I've heard a lot of people say things like pay to win. It's not really pay to win. You do pay more money to get Descendants faster on an exponential scale. So 300 caliper is around $6. So it's $6 for the cheapest one. You can see some of these Descendants cost different amounts. That gets reflected in the shop. An Ultimate Viesa would cost almost $100 if you were to buy her. This is why people are mad and everyone's saying it's pay to win. Because you can either spend $100 to get an Ultimate Descendant, or you have to grind for probably a couple weeks hardcore to acquire that Ultimate Descendant. Whether you like this or not, it's really very similar in monetization to games that are just like this. So this is just as expensive as Warframe and just as time consuming as Warframe. If you liked Warframe, you should like the first Descendant, but don't not play the first Descendant because Warframe was overwhelming for you. I can see how Warframe would be overwhelming for a lot of players just because it has 10 years of content in it. If you go into Warframe, there's so many Warframes, there's so many mods, there's so much content. It's just very overwhelming for your average player. If that's what you want, that's a very good thing. But a lot of people don't want that. The aspect of the first Descendant that interests me so much is the builds. Not only do you have module builds for your guns and loadouts, you also have them for your Descendants. This allows you to do a lot of builds with your Descendant and your characters in general. I love fantasy games that have very intricate building system inside of them. That's why I like the first Descendant, that's why I like Monster Hunter, and that's why I like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I have just as much fun building a character as I do playing the game itself. So I'll go over a couple of things that people are mad about. One is the event skins, like the maid outfits, the schoolgirl outfits. Bias's maid outfit is 750 caliber, which is about $15. So if you wanted a maid outfit, you would have to pay $15 for this maid outfit, because the limited skins can't be created. Then it's $1 for makeup. And if you want to increase the power of your descendant and didn't want to go grind this materials, you'd want to buy stuff like this just to make the grind less grindy, because precision face exchangers aren't necessarily the hardest thing to get, but they can take a while. Then you have your obvious proficiency boosts, gold boosts, whatever. Then your caliper shop. Really, the only thing I think you should get if you get the first descendant is either one of the descendant packages. I bought Sharon because I like Sharon. That's probably the only thing I'm going to buy, because to be honest with you, inside of the battle pass, the only things I actually care about you get for free anyway. And another way to get precision phase exchangers is through the battle pass, which you just get anyway. If you get the battle pass and you actually play the game a lot, here we have the values for the support materials if you were to just buy them. Keep in mind, every caliber is 2 pennies. So precision phase exchanger is $1.50. An ion accelerator is 10 cents. This is obviously the best value for your buck. For instance, here is your precision phase exchanger. It's 50,000 gold and 250 liquid metal. As of now, I have about 6 half-baked hours in the game. So this is not a hard material to acquire. You don't need to spend money on this stuff. The crystallization catalyst, maybe. Not the most fun thing to acquire. You'll be awarded around 300 caliper, and the only thing you actually get from the battle pass is a descendant EXP gain, a gold boost gain, a shader. Every descendant that's 600 caliper or below is not actually that difficult to grind to get. With 1 or 2 days of dedicated work, you could probably acquire Valby. And with a week of dedicated work, you could probably acquire Enzo, Kyle, Essimo, or Eugen. Now, I actually enjoy the dedicated work. That's why I play the game. I like the game, so I'll play the game. In playing the game, I'll get some descendants for free anyway. So you don't have to buy anything. They want you to play the game as much as possible so that you pick out the stuff that you like and want because you've enjoyed the game so much, you're willing to put money into it. This, I actually believe, is the best way to go about monetization. Do I think that the ultimate descendants are overpriced? Yeah, kinda, but you can get the ultimate descendants without buying them. As far as future content of the game goes, I'm pretty excited. This video was basically designed for people that weren't sure if they wanted to put time and effort into the game. But if you like third-person shooters like Warframe, or if you like shooters and builders in general, like Destiny, you should like the first Descendant. If fan service is a turnoff for you, you won't like the first Descendant. If complicated builds are a turnoff for you, you won't like the first Descendant. And if a complicated grind for the character is also a turnoff for you, you probably won't like the first Descendant. There's a lot of gameplay tutorials out right now. I have one on my channel. All of the gameplay is pretty much the same from the technical test, so you won't lose anything by just exploring some gameplay footage. I also have a live stream that I did on YouTube Shorts if you want to check it out, just to see if you'll like the gameplay. Check out my channel. I do builds and guides. If you like that kind of stuff, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the first Descendant, and I'll see you guys later in my videos. Peace out.